What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be building some decorative dimmable sconces for our basement. So I got one done already. Just something very simple. It kind of matches the look that we've got going on throughout the house with kind of like a rustic look. We've got some corrugated tin. We've got some hand-hewn timbers. So this is what we're going to be doing. There'll be 4 of these mounted to the wall in the basement with a low wattage light bulb on either end, and obviously, like I said, they'll be dimmable. It's going to be in our like theater area. So anyways, I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to start with is an old shelf. It's pretty heavy gauge steel. We're going to be using that to build this backer plate right here, and then obviously this is just corrugated tin. So I'll cut some corrugated tin and just bend it around. Like I say, very simple, but that's the look that we're going for. What I'm doing here is I cut this big long strip so I can get the last 3 out of this. My distance on this is 10, and then each one's going to be 8.5 wide. That'll leave me enough room to do a 6.5 on the back, and then I bend up 1-inch ears to secure the corrugated tin to. Doesn't have to be perfect, just close enough. Probably should have marked this before I cut it. Now we'll switch to the flat disc, and we'll use that to deburr these things. Now what we'll do is we will punch the hole right there that is needed to put the light socket through. And then what we're going to have to do in a minute here is we're going to have to take this switch off these light sockets, and then I just wire the solder the wires together. When you have a son learning archery, you set up an extra large backstop. Perfect. I need to bend the ears up. So you can see what I did here. Like I say, I know they're simple, very crude, but it gets the look that we're looking for. So I got to bend these ears up. So anyways, the ears are 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is mark these out at 1 inch, and then because I don't have a brake, I'll use a vise, and then I'll just bend these ears over at a 90-degree angle. This would be much easier with a brake. We improvise here. Pretty close to a 90. It'll accept this through. Not too shabby. So I got all of these done. I'll paint them later. Now what I'm going to do is pull this one apart. I'll pull this one apart, and I'm going to bypass these switches. I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you just buy them without switches? Well, they didn't have any without switches. So this is what we got. My wire strippers are in the house. And of course I don't feel like going all the way back up there, so we're going to do it with side cutters. Okay. That looks good. Just twist these together. So you get a little ball of solder going on the end of your gun there. Stick that under your wire and submerge your wire in that ball of solder. It'll go a lot faster. Then you'll be able to watch that solder just run right up and down those wires. Okay. As you can see, good looking solder joint. There. Just that simple. Good to go. Switch, gone. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint all these brackets on the back here, and then we'll pick up tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be able to put everything together. So I'll get these painted tonight, and then like I say, tomorrow we'll start the assembly. We got about 10 different projects going on at the same time, hence the reason this place is such a disaster. So another little trick I'll tell you is I always keep a 5-gallon bucket full of these blocks, and what they're nice for is you paint something and you put it on the block like that. Now the only part that, if your paint's still sticky, the only part that gets affected is right here. So I don't know, sometimes it makes sense to use them. It's just a habit now. For these, it doesn't really matter what the backside looks like, but I'm just so used to using these blocks, we're just gonna set them all up. Plus it keeps them from sticking to the cardboard. Those are all painted up. We'll let them set up for tomorrow. Okay, so we're gonna finish putting the rest of these lights together today. What we'll do is I actually cut the galvanized tin last night. These are painted and dry. So what I'm gonna do today, light socket in first, and we'll secure the tin, and then I'll go downstairs, wire them up, and we'll see how they work. So one thing you gotta do, the tin, you're gonna be screwing this to those. If you build something like I do anyway, you're going to be screwing this down, and it doesn't screw very well being on a rib like that, so you always want to flatten those out. They flatten pretty easy. I just use my vise, or the anvil on the back of my vise. Now you got a couple of good flanges that you can secure that to your brackets with. Now when you bend it, you just kind of want to try to do it as even as you can, and kind of give each, you're going to want to give a little bit of bend to each one of these ribs. Otherwise it's going to be lopsided and it's going to look funny. There's one. If you look at it and the ribs look funny, you can always just tweak it a little bit and you can get them to straighten out. Okay. So that's what we're looking for. Something like that. Okay, so I'm not actually going to mount the back two because I have some more stuff I want to do to the walls. what I'll do is I'll show you how you line up your mounting holes. So as you can see, I have my box right there. You know that your box is on the wall, sitting just like this. I'll lay it down on top of my light fixture, and then what I do, take this big long drill bit, punch your hole. Then what I've been doing is putting this screw up through this. Now that'll hold that still so that I can line up my next one. There. So now all you gotta do is pull these two screws out, here and here, and then you've already got your holes drilled. So you just put it up to the wall, wire it in, screw it in, then put your light bulbs in. Now I've got 40-watt bulbs in these, and I got them on a dimmer switch. So we'll have 2 on the back wall, but like I say, I got some more stuff I'm going to do with that back wall before I put these on. So pretty cool, simple, doesn't cost much. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in order to see more action in our household.